where to begin? They have so much to talk about. Let's see here. First, the draft dodgers. As our plan stated, after high school, and whether you finished or not, even if it took you a few more years, and as long as you're 18, it would be our policy that you would join the military. If you did not do so, it would be a felony and you would be a criminal and you would go to jail. With the draft, since it was more of a thing in a time of war and we weren't ready for this and we were just trying to get our men out there as fast as possible, we didn't have time to deal with this. For our program that we set up, we will have more time and resources to specifically put into this, so that way we'll take the money from, instead of spending money on recruitment, we'll spend money on enforcement and bureaucracy to make sure that everyone in the U.S. has to go through the system. The only people who would be exempt are those who have physical or mental disabilities that prevent them from serving in the military, no matter what form they're, because there are many tasks which you can perform in the military besides just fighting on the ground. As for women, just because women are genetically, in some cases, not as strong in terms of muscle mass, there are plenty of areas in the military which you can serve that require little to no physical strength. Not to mention, there are many women who are strong enough, who perform in the military and pass physical tests all the time. Just because on the large scale they might not be as strong doesn't mean that they're not strong enough to perform on a case-by-case basis. That war sucks and that we want less of war. When you or your children or everyone you know is a part of the military, then you're not going to want to go to war. When it's people will start paying more attention to politics, and I guarantee that if every one of you was in the service right now, you would be trying to figure out who is going to be the president that will make sure that you guys do not go to war. Because when it's your lives or your children's lives or your sister's lives or your brother's lives, you're going to make sure that you do not go to war, except in the most extreme cases. In terms of, let's see here, the idea that we don't have any threats around us. Mexico, let's see. Oh, one moment, please. Here we go. According to the U.S. Joint Forces Command, Mexico and Pakistan are at risk for a, quote, rapid and sudden collapse. As of right now, there are currently parts of the U.S. which are controlled by Mexican cartels. There are signs up that say from the Edgecombe Roger, some Mexican drug cartels in parts of Arizona, from the Human Events magazine. Warning signs were posted this past month, this is from a while ago, by federal government 80 miles north of the border on the south side of the 1-8 between Casa Grande and Gila Glen, urging U.S. citizens not to camp or hike in the active drug and human smuggling area because visitors may encounter armed criminals. Where is he? Here we go. From the same source, Phoenix sheriff said this. In a press conference ignored by the American national media, the sheriff described how deputies were outmanned and outgunned by the cartel smugglers who increasingly operate using military tactics and weapons. The result, Sheriff Baru said, was that the wide corridor in Arizona from the north outskirts of Phoenix is effectively controlled by the cartels, and we have no control of this area. So our police are unable to take care of this, and that's why we need soldiers there to make sure that we can keep our border safe, because we have actually lost part of the U.S. to Mexico drug cartels.